What up, everyone? Welcome back to Blade Bias. Don't mind me watching my goofy little Valorant tournament over here, just because I'm too lazy to shut off my laptop and then restart. Whatever. Today we're gonna do something that I actually got from the IEM community. This is actually something that I plan on talking about in future videos. Is my entrance into IEMs and how it's kind of changed my perspective on balisongs a little bit. But there's a pretty interesting video that I stumbled across, which was basically if you had to restart, get rid of everything that you own, and you could only buy one thing for each price point, what would it be? So I figured we would go through 5 or 6 different price points, and I would give you my personal choice. We're going to do dollar amount or under, so like $50 or under, and this is not the best. I'm not saying this is what everyone should buy. I'm saying this is my personal pick for each individual price point. Again, subjective, not objective. So there's probably going to be some things in here that a lot of people don't agree with. But you know what? You can just suck it, I guess. First off, $50 or under. Really tough one. Not a lot of things to pick for $50 or under. But I think most people would not be surprised if I were to pick my Edit Lite. Getting rid of everything that I had and just being able to buy something. The Edit Lite just feels good to me. To me, there's no weirdness. It can do every trick that you want it to. It's big enough. It weighs enough. Like, this is a seriously solid balisong in my opinion. Still probably my favorite plastic balisong easily. Even if there are some issues with durability that have been popping up lately, I don't think I can beat the Edit Lite, especially for the price point, because what you're competing with is really crappy Amazon stuff, clones, and then like the zippy diode, I guess, but none of those are really to my taste. So, Edit Lite, $50 or under, easy. Next up, $100 or under. Now, this one's a tough one for me, because there's a lot of stuff nowadays in the $50 or under, or sorry, did I say 50? $100 or under. $100 under used to be dead. It used to be this really crazy hard thing to find, and now just there's everything. But if I had to pick one for $100, I think I'd pick the Nibali's marbles. I gotta be straight up. The Orion is a great pick. I like the Comb Blade the best. You can't get the Comb Blade for less than 100 with it. And the Nibali's marbles is just, it feels really good, and it's got a lot of customization. There's a lot of fun to be had with the Nibali's marbles. Now, I get it. You pretty much are only really going to pick the thing that you like, the balance that you end up liking the most. And then you're not really going to do too much else with it. So, like, you're going to just set it and forget it, basically. But just the ability to have that there is something that's very cool. Something that I think is very cool. Now, the Orion is obviously a very close runner-up because I think it genuinely flips the best at that price point. It's just, you'd get the Trainer Blade and the Live Blade. I think I'd just rather have a marbles at that point, to be honest. So, I don't have a marbles to show off, but yeah. Next up, sub 200. I would do sub 150, but I don't want to do too many. Sub 200, easy, Prisma Pro, just every time. I think, honestly, my real choice would be the Prisma V2 because I prefer the Prisma V2 ever so slightly for its extra bit of neutrality that you get. The Prisma Pro does add a tiny bit of handle bias, which has been noticeable to me. But for the sake of, hey, it's discontinued and you can't get it anymore, Prisma Pro. Prisma Pro goes insanely hard. One of the best options that you can get, sub 200, genuinely. You get the 7075 aluminum. You get one of the best flipping performances that I have tried in the price range. And honestly, like, just everything else that competes with it, I'm just not a huge fan of. The only thing that comes close to me is the Squid Trainer, but the Squid Trainer is just a little bit too heavy for me now, because my preferences have just gotten very light. So sub $200, Prisma Pro, I could be happy with just a Prisma Pro in my collection very easily. Boom. Next up, sub Well, I don't know. What price point do I want to do next? Honestly, sub 300, just a Kraken. I think I'd go with the Tonto Kraken. I like the Kraken. It's good. I have described it as white bread before, and I still do stand by that. It's not like the most interesting flipper that you're ever going to get, but what it is one of the most consistent and just one of the, it's just great. Like, it's consistent. It does everything that you want it to. Sure, it might not have that little spice that some people look for, but you know what? A lot of other people don't look for that. A lot of other people want that consistency and that kind of competitive flipper. Now, I would go Tonto just because I prefer the extra tip weight that you get with Tonto, even though I prefer the look of Bowie. That's tough. Yeah, I think I would go Tonto because the flipping just edges out the Bowie for me. Even if I just vastly prefer how the Bowie looks. So, Kraken, but Tonto variant. I guess that'll do. Next up, sub 500. Sub 500 is another very tough one because there's a lot of good options. But I think, again, everyone saw this coming, the Slift T. The stuff that Grant is putting out is a very close second to me. But to be honest with you, just, yeah. And I mean, I'm just thinking of things in my collection. I mean, honestly, sub 500, it's a very, very difficult decision. You've got a lot of really, really great things that you can get. But the Slift T is just, it just flips exactly how I want it to. It does everything that I want it to. In fact, this is my first time like properly flipping it in like probably a week. And it just feels really good. I'm not even missing the tip weight from the Prisma trainer that I put on it. It's a great knife. Ow. It's a great knife. It flips amazing. Can't beat it. I don't know. Slift T is easy choice for me. And then finally, the one that probably everyone is the most interested in. Any budget. If I could get anything in the community, what would I get? Now that is a really tough one. I think a lot of people would be like, oh, you'd probably go with the Seraph because, you know, you are the Machine Wise show. So obviously, I don't know. I don't know if I would go the Seraph because, you know, I've got the Slift T that fulfills a pretty good place in my collection for the Machine Wise stuff. Immediately when I think of any budget, holy cow. You know, Ryan's just taking a beating today. When I think of any budget, I think, quite honestly, Nami or something from Stitch Steel. The custom stuff that he does, the Paradigm, the Alien, and my desire to own something that is custom and handmade by someone in the community is just, it's too strong. I haven't flipped a Paradigm. I would love to eventually. I missed one at Blade Show, which I'm really annoyed about. But I think having that like end game, hey, this is a completely custom piece that someone made by hand and put so many hours of time and care and love into. I think that's what I would go for. And then if I couldn't go for that, I don't know. What's my absolute favorite balisong out there? The Slift T comes to mind, but then again, you get like the Opus, the Nami. Probably end up going with the Nami. Probably forgetting something. The any budget is really tough because I don't have a lot of time. Like, obviously, I know the sub $200 budget really well because it's the majority of my collection. But any budget is just something that I don't really know. But yeah, those are my picks at every price point. If you want to, I want to know what your picks are. Take some price points, what's your pick? Put it on Instagram, tag me, do whatever. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.